Hi, I'm Andrew. This is my home. I've lived in this trailer for about the past 5 months here in the Central Cascades of Washington. Let's start with a little history. I built this trailer as part of my senior project back in high school. That's about 5 years ago now. At the time when I started this, the most complex tool I'd ever used was a drill. And over the course of about 6 months and 500 hours of labor, I learned a thing or two, made lots of mistakes. Those are all very present in the final product that we have here today. Pretty much every year since getting it to a state of usability, I've added to the trailer in some way. Those projects have taken place as a solar array, relocation of electronics and routing wires from the front to the back of the trailer, or most recently, interior cabinetry and storage, so I could actually live in it full time. The longest I ever actually used the trailer before now was back in 2023 when I was climbing the 100 highest peaks in Washington, the Boulder List. Maybe you've heard of it. During that time, I probably used the trailer for about 6 weeks. It acted as my home base, somewhere I could come back to utterly beaten down and exhausted, where I could sleep in till 1 p.m. in some parking lot or trailhead, where I could almost light the trailer on fire with a jet boil and have a stranger come fix it for me, where I could make pancakes and Spam in the morning, or wait out just a nasty old downpour. It made a lot of memories then. Now that the backstory is taken care of, let's start the tour. I'll show you the inside first. So we'll start with the most used space in the trailer. That is going to be the bedroom. The bedroom truly encompasses the whole space, but I thought I'd start here. This is kind of where I sleep. It used to be a queen-size bed, but for reasons undisclosed, I had to get rid of part of the mattress. Now, the trailer is about 6 feet wide, well, 5 feet 9 inches, and I'm about 6 feet tall, so I do have to sleep at this diagonal here, but not really too bothersome to me. And I know the questions that people generally like to ask are, where do you poop? How do you shower? How do you pee? I pee like everybody else in a 1 liter bottle. And I like to poop and shower at the closest gymnasium or other businesses with toilets. Technically, the top pops up and I could stand up in here, but I don't really pop the top up. I did build this trailer, and that is one part where the engineering is a little sketchy. So you can see, that's the ceiling right here. That is about as far as I can go. Just far enough that my waist can be extended and I could take off my pants in a half stand and put them back on. That's all you need in life, is just easy in and out of the pants, really. Well, we got this in view. This is my Max Air fan. Yeah, that's how I keep ventilation going in here. My source of heat is this space heater right here. Because space is pretty tight in here, I do have to kind of overlap purposes. So I am sitting on my bed, and this is where I store all my climbing gear, rope, all my cams and goodies. And it's actually also where my feet like to rest on the bed. Yeah, I just kind of put the rope here, some sheets, and that's enough cushion for my feet. Let's go over some storage next. These cabinets are going to be my most recent addition to the trailer. I built them this summer. It took actually a lot more work than I thought. Cabinets are not that easy. Boxes are not that easy, but open them like so. Got all my pants and shirts in here. These cubbies down here are going to be for more clothing items. My climbing shoes, got some mountain boots under there. This larger cabinet is where I store all my winter clothes and some other sleeping things. Over here, this panel is kind of just makes like a really deep cubby. So the intention of building this was I could put like ski boots behind here, or what I actually use it for is I got like my ice tools. I got a couple pairs of crampons. avalanche shovel. And then it's kind of combined with these hooks up here. There's 5 of them actually, or 4 of them. And I like to hang my backpacks. They kind of sit in the trough that this creates. This shelf was another addition to the trailer. It's got 4 tiers. This bottom one I got my vacuum cleaner, a pair of shoes, a hammer. This one is basically a bookshelf. These other 2, kind of just like miscellaneous things. Put some camera equipment up here. Yeah. Honestly, I probably have too much stuff. I really don't wear that many clothes. I kind of have a few outfits. Got my clothes I wear at work, my clothes I work out in, my clothes I wear out to the club, since there's so many clubs around here. But yeah, that's kind of the interior space, to be honest. Not a lot. It's a very small space, like I said, under 48 square feet. But yeah, I make the most of it. This is actually tent fabric from the pop top. It just kind of drapes inside. This is going to be my electronics panel. So that's lights. This activates my 12-volt power supply so I can charge USB appliances. Exterior lights, fan, power for the kitchen, and lights for the kitchen. And yeah, that's all routed through the walls and connects to a circuit breaker in the back, which I'll show you. This is where all my electrical stuff lives. It's covered by a yoga mat. Solar charge controller, MPPT, 30 amps. Did the calculations at one point in time. I only have 200 watts of solar, so this is plenty enough. I got my fuse box and buzz bars up here. This little tube right here is actually delivering the battery wires, which pass under the trailer and through the bottom of the kitchen. These are all my various wires. It looks pretty scary. They are labeled though. It's been a while since I've done any electrical work on here, but I don't remember it being too hard. Let's check out the kitchen, guys. So I must admit, the kitchen being outdoors has had some challenges, especially when I didn't have a heater, because it would be an experience of waking up. It's about, 30 degrees inside my trailer and 20 degrees outside. I'm all warm in a sleeping bag, and I just know I gotta get outside and make coffee and breakfast in freezing weather or in the rain. And that can put a bit of a damper in the morning, can cause for some slow bones, but I reckon it's good for me. And pardon the wind, I'm sorry about that. The kitchen is pretty simple. I use this Coleman stove, which is hooked up to a barbecue propane tank. And this is basically all countertop. So it's about 6 feet wide, about 2 feet deep. And yeah, pretty much all countertop, stove, propane tank. Storage, I have this Trader Joe's bag, which happens to be screwed into the walls on the floor of the trailer, or just the walls. I got this wooden box right here. This holds a lot of kitchen appliances. I got Frank Elmo right here. That's where I store all my rags. This small shelf I built, it's got things like sriracha, mayonnaise, some spices, things like that. Over here, I have this little 3-tiered cabinet that I have had since I was a really little kid. Kind of like a silverware drawer. Pretty random stuff. And the bottom one's empty right now. I got a little bit more food storage in this cooler. It's pretty warm today, and I haven't been using ice for like the past few months since it's been pretty cold overall, and I can just take ice from puddles normally if I really need ice. But yeah, I'll probably buy some ice soon. I've also been kind of living on the edge of refrigeration. Like, it definitely gets 50 degrees recently, but yeah, you know how it is. Most of what you see here in the kitchen is actually pretty new. It used to just be this countertop. I'll try to find some footage from that. But yeah, all this storage, Frank Elmo, that is all additionally new. Well, I would say that pretty much effectively covers the trailer tour. If you have any questions, let me know. I'd be happy to answer them. I know I didn't get into any super specific numbers, but this is really a pretty micro home at under 48 square feet. I can't stand up. I have very minimal power needs. It has no running water or plumbing. Yeah, I mean, it's really just a super tiny home, and I feel fortunate to have this as a housing option because it's pretty expensive to live in this area, and this is a way I can do it for rather inexpensive. I don't think it's for everybody, since you definitely lack a lot of comforts, and I don't know, it can kind of suck sometimes being in such a small space and you have no friends, and it's raining and cold, and you're just like, gosh. Yeah, but I'm liking it.